Hey, I'm gonna talk to you guys today about buying a house in the wintertime. There's definitely some disadvantages, all right, but there's one major advantage, right? That major advantage is that there's less competition and most sellers are pretty motivated. Unless that seller is a carryover from the fall time, if they're listing in the winter, it's because they have a need to list in the winter. Maybe there was a death, right? So this is like an estate sale. Maybe there was a divorce. Maybe they're relocating. Maybe it's a flipper who flipped the house and it's ready now, right? In all four of those situations, the seller's going to be very motivated to sell, right? Also in the winter time, there's just less competition. There's less buyers looking. Let me tell you why. It's cold outside. It's not fun looking at houses when it's freezing cold outside. It gets dark at 5, so it's hard to actually go see a house after work where it's not nighttime. Then there's snow on the ground, or snow, just in general. This can cause a lot of issues with actually seeing and visiting a house. There's definitely houses being shown today, but I promise you it's not as many as when there's not snow on the ground. So those are some real advantages there to be able to get a good deal in the wintertime. You have motivated sellers, you have less competition. So I wouldn't detract anyone from looking in the wintertime. Just know that there's some pretty big caveats too, some pretty big disadvantages. The main disadvantages really have to do with the inspections. When you put a house under contract in the winter and there's snow on the ground and there's snow on the roof, that inspector is not going to be able to tell you anything about the roof. That inspector is not going to be able to tell you anything maybe about the sidewalks or the driveway, right? Because it's all covered. They're not going to be able to tell you about maybe the grading of the house. Again, it's all covered in snow. They just can't see it. It's not available for them. Also, AC units cannot be turned on when it's this cold. It can damage the compressor. And so an HVAC contractor or a home inspector is not going to turn it on and test the AC unit to make sure that it's working properly. Let's say you're buying a house that has a pool. All right, the pool is closed down. So you're not going to be able to have a good inspection on that pool. These are huge disadvantages because each one of these things that I'm talking about are extremely expensive to fix or to replace. You know, roofs are 10, 15, 20 grand. And an air conditioner could be 5 to 10 grand. You know, the pool, depending on a lot of different things, I mean, this could be $1,000 to 10,000 to 20. I mean, it adds up a lot. And so you just need to know as a buyer, yes, there is less competition. Yes, there's motivated sellers, but there's also those disadvantages that you just need to go in with the expectation of. So if you are going to buy a house in the winter and it's your dream home and it's a great house, ask for as much maintenance records, as much information as you can about those things that cannot be inspected because of just the time of year that it is. Also, it is very wise that if you first saw the house, let's say at 6 o'clock at night, you need to go back a second time and see it in the daytime. You need to be able to look at it when there's light outside. Because this might show you different things that in the dark you weren't able to see or weren't able to, or the realtor wasn't able to point out for you. So, again, not discouraging looking in the winter, all right, but just having the right mindset, having the right expectation is really important to make sure that when springtime comes around and you go to start that AC unit or you go to open up that pool, that you're not having these big issues that could possibly come up. Thanks.